Ooh, hello there, my fellow theme park designers. Good times with Scar here, and welcome back to Sci-Fi versus the Wild West. And we are at the most popular Planet Coaster attraction of them all. That is my log ride. Look at the amount of people just jamming into that queue. And of course, I've got the sign set up with priority in standby. Now, I still have not chosen a name for this ride yet, so I don't know, I just haven't had one that really pops out and is like, that's it. So keep helping me with that one. But look at this. I have expanded this queue as much as I possibly can with reason. And look at this thing. This goes all around here. So potentially we may be able to add an additional vehicles to the ride, but I think we're at our max capacity with this attraction. So that's where our episode today comes in. In this episode, we are going to be building a minecart roller coaster. That is right. So this is my thought. What we're going to do is we're going to cut out a gigantic crater in the ground here, and we're going to build our roller coaster inside that, and it's going to go through the tunnels and come out. It's going to be amazing. And the whole reason really is to avoid having supports all over the place. We spoke about that in our episode when we built the log flume. So yeah, that's right. We're finally going to build a roller coaster after all this time, but I gotta show you guys, I have been so busy just here and there almost every day. I just play for just like a couple minutes, just trying to get as much done as I can in between our episodes. And look, extra detail all around here, extra plants, and I've been adding more booths. So this is an additional water stall. And then if we shoot all the way back over here, which we need something in this area, help me come up with a ride design. Tell me what you think would look cool here in this back corner. So hashtag back corner designs, and tell me what you think would look good back here, because we need to bring more attention to this side of the park. Look at all the little peoples. There's nobody over here, and there's so much amazing stuff. Look at this. So we've got our drink stands over here, which we did in our last episode, but I've also added this whole new booth back here, and it's got some coffee and tacos, and I think this came out really nice. I really love how we did the bunting along there with the sign, which I kind of just named these things. I'm so bad at naming buildings and things. It's definitely one of the things I'm very poor at. All right, so what else have I done? I've done a whole, oh my gosh, guys, I'm so excited about this. I think some of these buildings came out really cool. So this one's kind of a barn design. So this is another one that I worked on. So we've got the milkshakes over here. We've got the French fries. We've got the additional coffee stall. But I think this is kind of a fun little barn design. Now over here, we've got the beef. Got him all set up on that side. And then over here, I believe this is an additional, Slurpees. No, no, smoothies. Oh, that just sounds so delicious right now. So I've got that set up over there. And yeah, I just been kind of going about just continuing to add more shops. Now, if we jump into park management, see how the people are loving it. Let's take a look here. Let's see, graphs. There we go. Maybe not under graphs. Park statistics? No. Guess. Here we go. So we still got to work on energy. So our adult group is still low on energy. Our teen group is thirsty and hungry, apparently. And of course, the family, they got to use the bathroom. But man, I've added a lot of bathrooms around here. We've got bathrooms here, we got bathrooms there, all around, and apparently nobody can find them. So that's not my problem. I've got the bathrooms, guys. There's a bathroom right there. Look at them. They're all going in and enjoying it as much as you can enjoy a bathroom. All right, so we've got to get started here. So let's start brainstorming this out. Let's grab out our terrain tool. There we go. And let's see, sculpting. That's right. Let's get a little sculpting, intensity full and size maximum. All right. I wish this thing was like 10 times bigger. So what I want to do is maybe make a boundary somewhere around here. Do you see that section right there? I want to leave a little room in between the pathway and this crater. So what this crater is really just a place where the mining has just gotten crazy, and they've just mined down deep with their TNTs and all those wonderful things. Now, roller coasters are tough. Roller coasters are tough. It's the small intricate details of a roller coaster, how you can just shape it in any way you want, which in the end can be somewhat confusing because it's not like straight pieces like a roller coaster tycoon back in the day. These can be manipulated in any one way, and so I'm gonna have a little bit of a tricky time getting this done, but so I'm gonna start flattening this all out, and I'll see you once I have a bit more of a hole. We're making some progress here. Now we have encountered a bit of a problem, so let's zoom in over here. Now these cliffs are starting to get a little funky, so look at these trees. They have these little like flying saucers that they're attached to now. So what we need to do is I want to build up the mountain a little bit here, so it's a nicer transition between these mountains. So instead of just going straight down into a cliff, I want to kind of make these kind of a gentle slope and then do mountains on the backside. So kind of slopes downward in an additional range going off the back. Now, I just don't know if we have enough room in here. Whoa, geez, we're in the forest now. So what I want to do is I really want to make sure the roller coaster can go through all these little nooks and crannies of this canyon that we're building. Now, question. Should we do a little water in the bottom? I've been thinking about it. Maybe just like a little river kind of flowing through similar to the Grand Canyon. I think that would be really cool. Speaking of Grand Canyon, just an honorable mention here. They have the best Instagram account. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite Instagram account right now. I've really gone off the rails here. But yeah, I think this is starting to look pretty decent. I'm pretty sure we need to go down maybe just a little bit more. Now, I wish this was a little bit of a faster process. Like this is about as fast as you can go here, just slowly but surely kind of carving this out almost like clay. And it's super fun and incredibly relaxing. So I'm going to continue this and hopefully we can get this thing just a little bit more deep. And you know that feeling when you've just gone a little too far and you're like, oh crud, what have I done? And that is where we are. Welcome back. And we've made a gigantic crater inside of our park. And I think we made the right decisions here, but let's talk about it. So let's zoom out a little bit. And we have really got a huge hole in the ground, which needs a lot more terraforming around the edges. But I think basically we're there in the terms of we have a spot for our giant, roller coaster to go swirling about in here. Now, I've gone over here and actually flattened out this entire section because I've been going back and forth on where exactly is our station going to go for our train. Now, originally I had planned over in this little spot right there, but I found out that's Sci-Fi Land because this, of course, is our hub, and this pathway leads to Sci-Fi Land, this pathway leads to Western Land, and having this section become like partially Western Land, no. I like kind of sharing some of the terrain, but not like theme park attractions, so we're not going to do that. So what I've been thinking about is the spot right here, and then I thought, well, why don't I just flatten this entire section right here, place it down right there, and I think I've got a couple good ideas for this. Now, this area right here, this could potentially still be an attraction, something along those lines. I also had this really crazy idea, and I want to run this by you guys. What if we cut off all access to Western Land and made it only accessible via the train? So if you're here for a day at the park and you want to head over and enjoy the rides on this side of the park, the only way to get to them is via the train. What do you think? I think that could be really crazy, but also could be a disaster. So in the comments, go hashtag that's a great idea, Scar, or hashtag Scar, that's a terrible idea. So let me know because I want to try it, but I'm also a little apprehensive about that. But let's dive right into this. Let's actually broke the pathway, so remind me to fix that. And let's grab out our, here they are, the roller coasters. You know how often I go into this area, not very often. Is that a dragon? Oh, that's sweet. I never looked at these very closely. I know like there's what we need. We need the canyon runner. Ooh, I like that. Wait, what is that? Is that a bird? He's got a little saddle and little goggles on. Ooh, he's so cute. He looks like he has a carrot for a beak. I love it, but let's not get distracted too much. All right, so let's get busy with this. So my thoughts are if we rotate that around. Oh, good. This is a great decision. This is going to give us a really good. What is that sound? This is going to give us a. Oh. That makes a crazy sound when I put that right there. This will give us a whole bunch of room to build here, whereas on this side it would have caused a huge problem. So let's drop it right there. There we go, guys. We are set and ready to roll with this brand new roller coaster expansion to our park, and I am a little bit scared about this because I've rarely made any roller coasters and it's quite intimidating. Ooh, hello. See, I told you guys, this is quite intimidating. There is so much room for error in this. So if you are a super awesome roller coaster expert builder here, you give me some tips because I'm gonna need them. So it looks like we're going to take out this section once I commit to it. So I'm gonna lower this down here to about, let's go to about a 35-degree angle. Very, very good. So we're going to accept that and it's going to come down there. Let's push it down to a 45. Can we get a 45? Can we get a 46? Can we actually get a full 45? Nope, that's a 44. There we go. That's perfect. So I'm going to go down here like this. I'm going to stabilize it. So let's pull it back upwards. Let's bring this like straight. Let's go to a 20. And then let's soften that out to a 0. There we go. So the reason I'm gonna do this is I wanna make a little bridge across the canyon. So we get out the build module and we could build out like a little trestle bridge going across the canyon. I think would be really, really cool and a great start to the attraction. So you kind of go like that and then dive right into the cliff here. Let's actually give it just a little more room here, but let's back off on that just ever so slight. There we go. and then down we go. I love it. I love it. I think this is gonna be a sweet idea. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna curve this down here like that. Oh, I'm very excited about this. So a suggestion to the good folks at Planet Coaster. I know you're not watching my videos, but if anybody was, this is my idea. We've got to make it easier to see underground. This little mesh thing, like I can't tell anything that's going on in that mesh thing. We need to be able to make this go invisible and just see the track, similar to Roller Coaster Tycoon back in the day. It's a suggestion. It's a needed suggestion. All right, so let's work on this. And then what are we down to? We're at about, let's pull this down to about a 30. Look at that, looking super fancy. I'm gonna give this a good old rotate to a good old 45. Can I get a 45? There we go. And then I'm gonna rotate this to the side. Oh, don't wanna get too crazy. And pull that down as much as I can. All right, let's just see where this takes us. So if we start swooping this across, and let's pull that back a little bit. All right, there we go. Okay, I think we're set. So we have this kind of slide down here. I think this would be really cool. So let me do this for a second. I'll meet you back in just a second and continue the swirls. Welcome back, and it looks like we've got ourselves a roller coaster. That is right. I have been really trying at this to try to get a perfect design for a roller coaster, and it is quite difficult, my friends, but I've learned a few tricks along the way, and I think we've got our first section of this built up and we're ready to roll. And I kind of feel it's a combination of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and the Matterhorn. Absolutely love it. That curve coming down there was a little bit like Expedition Everest also. Whoa, there we go. Absolutely love it. So I think we're getting there, guys. So let's zoom out and get a broad view of this. So as you can see, it kind of goes down here, and we'll build up a fun little trestle bridge across this section. I think that's kind of a nice highlight picture of the entire structure, having that there. Then it comes down here and swirls about, and then down in this little spot. So this is the big drop here, right here. So that kind of flies down here, and I was really careful with the settings. So let's jump into our statistics here. Where can I find them? Here they are. So as you can see, they're coming down here. Look at this. Look at this. We're pushing 8 excitement. I'm feeling that's pretty good. I'm feeling that's pretty good. Keeping all of these green. That's a little yellow there, but that's okay. So I think that's pretty cool. So what if we did maybe a block section right here? So a block section, so it holds a car, and so it doesn't enter the next section of the track, so it keeps the car safe. So I think that would be pretty cool. So if we did that, but the question is, where do we take it from here? So say we curve this all the way around, and maybe get it up, maybe up to here again. I'm not sure. That's the thing. Like I get where it is right here, and I'm liking that, but maybe it'll just slowly work its way all the way around and then back up. You see, just do these little twirls and swirls and drops and spills all the way along the edges, maybe? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, because I don't want it just stretched all the way across the canyon. That'll look a little ugly. So, I just had an idea. I just had a great idea. What if this was a dam? Oh, that could be really cool. So we'll think about that. Trestle bridge or dam? You let me know. I think both of those could actually be really cool. But let's dive in here real quick, and I'll show you some of these tricks that I learned here that kind of helps out a little bit. So why don't we jump in here? Okay. So here's our settings. Right now, as you can see, the angle snap is pushed to 11. So what that means is every time I move it up or down, it moves it in increments of 11. So that really helps. Before, it was like in increments of like 1 and 2. So it was very precise, and that caused that kind of jerky motion in the ride. So some of these areas could be smoothed out a little bit, but I'm really kind of happy where we are at this point. So what I want to do is, as we were at I think a 45, yeah, we're at a 45 angle on the. So let's actually bring this over here a little bit. Let's just bring it over to, I don't know. I'm thinking that if it just ran across this edge portion, it might actually be pretty cool. So why don't we flatten it down like so to there? Oh, hello. And bring it over here. So yeah, it's kind of a tough decision, because if the car ran along this edge right here, all those little things are enhancements to the theme, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up the terrain pretty close to the bottom section here. We could add lots of detail along this section here. What are we doing here? So this is going inwards. Okay, I see how it is. I want to know exactly how fast it's going at this point. So we should have a car coming around here at any moment here. And once we determine the speed, that's what I'll decide. What is it at? It's at 46 miles an hour. Okay, 46 miles an hour. Okay, I get it. Let's back this off. So we're gonna pull this back to here, and let's actually bring this up like 1 more degree upwards. Oh, there we go. Oh, this is good stuff right here. So then I'm gonna curve that back down. Come on now, a little more there, fella. Come on, there you go. All right, and then we'll cut. Oh, no. See, this is what I get frustrated about, is I would like it always to go straight. Just go straight for me. It'd make me so happy if you could just do that. And then we can pull this back down. That's way too far. And then we'll just soften that curve out where it's like that. How about that? Are you gonna be happy about that? See, this is where it gets me, because sometimes it's over in this little corner right there. You gotta be mindful of that. It's like the yaw of it. Oh, good. Did you see the speed? That's perfect for a block station. So I'm gonna pull that outwards just a little bit. I'm gonna place a block station right there. And now from this point, where do we go? Because I think that makes a good little stop right there. Kind of slow down, kind of catch your breath for a second, and then get excited for the next portion of the ride. So where do we go from here, guys? That's a good question. I gotta brainstorm this a little bit. So potentially we can, drop it down, or we could even bring it up a little bit. I don't know. I'll have to think about this. Give me a couple seconds. Let me do a little brainstorming. And welcome back. And we've got ourselves another drop set up and ready to go into this super dark tunnel, which I hope to maybe add some more lights, maybe some show scenes in the area, something to give it some life in these darker areas. And this is where we left off. Well, obviously it crashed off to the track after all. So let's take a look at this. So why don't we slow this down? I'm gonna give that a pause. There we go. So this little slope right here. Now it kind of had a little bit of a jarring feel as it went down this section here. Now the reason I did that was I really wanted the track to kind of go on the natural slope of the cliff, but it gave it a kind of a jerky ride there. So we'll see about that. Maybe we can make some small adjustments. Now, right over here, I did set a block station, and I have a question for you. Can you only set like one little piece of a block station, or do you need to stretch it all the way out so the train, each one of the block sections down here, like right there, fits under each one of the cars? Now that's my question to you, because I'm not 100% sure. So I'm gonna say this is enough, and then we're gonna start taking this piece down here. Now, like I said, there's one thing I wish with this entire ride is that there was some more outdoor sections. There's a lot of indoor cave, like dark sections that I kind of wish there was a little bit less of. So I'm going to think about, when I'm working on this, is maybe push the cliffs back a little bit, opening up more of the track, because when we zoom way out, you don't see a lot of the trains, cars in the track, and that kind of makes me a little bit sad, because that's what I was hoping for. Anyway, we can always fix that up. All right, so I think this slope is decent right here. I would like to bring it down just a little bit more, and I wanted to try some of these things, the non-inverted pieces. Like, I don't know what any of these do. Oh. Okay, that's kind of crazy. Oh, jeez. Okay, these are super wild. Huh. These might be a little too wild for me. These might be a little too off of Scar. And then we're gonna go back to our custom pieces. Those were a little wild. So this is good. This is what I was hoping for with this thing. All these little pieces of track running on the sides of the cliff. So I think we can dive into the cave here, and then of course we can chisel out all this extra ground eventually. I'm gonna give that place so I can get the car rolling again on the track, and then we can pull this up a little bit. So we'll give that a little bit of a push. There we go. And now we're back underground again, guys. And that's like, so I'm trying to avoid. So pull that up into a 22. I think go 22. I think that's good. Let's see. What if we take this and we bring it up around here and maybe get the track, do some swirls in this area, and then kind of bring ourselves back in and around. Sound like a plan? Sounds like a plan to me anyway. So I think bring this down, do a little swirly swirl, a little swoopy swoop, and right into the station, and then get back in the line, because yeah, I would get back on the line. This looks amazing, right? Super cool. All right, so let me do this. And welcome back, and we now have an entire loop for our roller coaster. We've got some spills, chills, and thrills, and I'm very, very pleased with the way this has come out. Of course, this area is a little bit dark, so maybe some lights, maybe some explosions going off with TNT, some crazy cowboys igniting the TNT with their guns, I think would be really, really cool. And look at this is absolutely amazing. Now, I'm a little bit disappointed in our official rating. It's a little lower than I think it should be, because we do hit about 10 and 8 in some of these curves around here. I think we have a couple dead zones that really kind of bring down our rating a little bit. So when we show you those, definitely give me some tips on maybe improving those areas. But let's jump off the car here and let's take a look at this. So of course, this is now the entire loop of the roller coaster, looking absolutely incredible. So we have all of these little jumps and jumps. No, not really jumps, but drops. Drops are a more appropriate term. Jumps, that just seems like it's gonna jump the track, and that's not safe. So look at this, look at that. Oh, that's so awesome how it kind of swirls all the way around that teardrop shape. Absolutely beautiful. And then this is the lift to get us out of the canyon. Now this becomes a bit of a problem because I think this is one of those dead zones where our rating gets really low because people are going to spend a long time on this lift hill. And then the exit here is very anticlimactic as it kind of swirls back into the station. Now to me, this could be awesome because this could be a show scene area where there's little animatronics, different things along those lines to make this area exciting, even though it doesn't have a whole bunch of, you know, loops and drops and all of those things. But I've also been really kind of carving out the land a little bit, cleaning it up because it was quite messy actually, where the track actually sits down and you know, there's weird supports like this. So what's nice about this game is what we can do is let's take this area for instance. What if we zoom in here and we can kind of bring up some of these supports? Now my goal is to actually get rid of the majority, at least of these long, ridiculous supports. So we build up the train, you know, up to here. We still have the supports because, well, they're just natural. It's just odd without them. So we just kind of want to build up these little curves like that. And look, we just kind of make that side look way nicer, a lot more natural. It doesn't have, you know, such a mess of little supports going all about. We can do that over here, and all these little details can slowly kind of come together. Now, I've been working pretty hard over here, so this area is starting to look good, but in our next episode, we'll really get busy on those types of things there. We can kind of carve up there. But yeah, I think this is really cool. Now, this is a block station, of course, where the vehicle holds position till another car gets out of that zone. Now, the problem is it gets kind of slow here. So sometimes these little swirls and curves are a little bit tamer than they otherwise would be if that vehicle did not stop at that block station. But that's okay. So we can kind of carve over here. Oh yeah, I love it. This is too much fun. So I think this is pretty good. So we can build a bridge here. We can build a dam. Anything along those lines I think could come out really nice. But here we go, guys. That was our very first roller coaster. And look at it. There it goes across there. And I'm pretty pleased with it. There's some areas of definite improvement, and I want you guys to help me with that. And just to wrap things up, you can kind of take a look here. So we're starting with an 800, so that's pretty good, 4 stars. And of course, our rating's a little bit lower than I was hoping, but that's okay. Once we start getting our scenery, that's going to be very high. I can guarantee you that. And there we go, my friends. I very much hope you enjoyed our very first roller coaster build, and I had so much fun doing this. So if you enjoyed the video, a like rating would be very much appreciated. And until next time, this has been Good Times with Scar, and we'll see you later.